Oh, welcome back to the channel, guys. What I'm working on now is rebuilding my big welding table slash workbench. I got this out at auction a few years ago, and of course it was kind of, got it for a reasonable price only because the plate steel costs so much to build one. But it's only got a 3/8 inch steel top, the plate on top here. But they just got kind of flimsy angle iron on the for legs, and the thing doesn't sit level, and they just sort of kind of welded a little 3/4 or 1 inch lip on the sides here and on the ends here, but it's all kind of bowed, and if you look underneath here, there's about a 3/8 of an inch gap in the middle, and as you can see with the straight edge, it's pretty bowed down. But the thing is, when I put anything heavy on it, the legs kind of wiggle and splay out because they're not very heavy angle iron on there. So what I'm going to do is I got some heavy old drill casing, 3.5 inch drill casing. So I got a big length of that, so I'm cutting that up to make the legs out of. But I do need some extra weight, and then around the perimeter and across the center I got some 3/8 inch 2.5 by 3 inch heavy angle iron, which I'm going to clamp and weld underneath I'll put it underneath here. I'm going to take the plasma cutter, I'm going to trim this all off, get rid of these here lips, and hopefully when I clamp it on the bottom side, it'll pull some of this bow out, and as I weld the bottom of it, hopefully it'll kind of pull it somewhat straight. And even on the back side, they got this angle iron, they welded the shit out of it, but yeah, it's all bent down and bowed. I can't, for fabrication, I got to keep shimming everything, trying to level everything. So I'm going to see what I can do with this, and yeah, so I'm going to cut up. I got 3 more legs to cut. I got one cut here right now, so it's going to be definitely a whole lot sturdier. And plus I want to lower it down about I guess about an inch, just more to my comfortable. And then plus when I put the little pads on the bottom, but yeah, all the other legs are all different sizes. I got shims under one corner, otherwise it keeps rocking all the time. So I want to get set up and start cutting up some of that pipe. Okay, we've got it set up here. I just cut it off to 34 inch long legs here, so I'll proceed to cut this here one off anyway. Of course, we're having a bit of a thunderstorm out there right now. Hopefully the power doesn't go out. Yeah, it's pretty bad at this here workbench. I was trying to straighten out a piece of pipe there, and kind of stuck in the big vise, and I'm not overly heavy, I'm only at 170, and I kind of stood the table up on end, so it definitely needs a whole bunch of extra weight to it, especially when I got some heavy stuff to deal with in the future there, so I don't want this thing tipping over on me or wiggling around when you're going in the middle. I need something more solid than that with some more weight to it. So hopefully this is going to add a bunch of weight, and I'm going to put a shelf on it so I can always stack a bunch of my scrap metal underneath on the shelf. Give me a bunch of extra weight to hold it down. almost like watching paint dry. I think my blade is getting a little bit dull. It's taking longer to cut through this stuff. Mine gets some pretty hard, high tensile steel to drill things. There you go, there's another one down. So that's two of them now. Cool, I actually got them the same length, that's the bonus. Hey, I'll get set up. I don't know if you want to watch me just cut this all up, because otherwise it'll end up being a long video. Save some of this video for when I start hacking up the bench there to redo it all. Okay, we'll get back to you in a bit. Hey guys, I got my 4 legs cut out now, and I guess I'll just leave it at that for now. I gotta kind of deburr it all and kind of do a little grinding off where I'm gonna weld it after. But otherwise, yeah, I'll leave this for now until I get to the point where I'm gonna cut the top off this here old table and turn it into something better. Okay, catch you in a bit. Hey guys, it's been a couple days now, and I was going to use the plasma cutter to cut this out, but I want a nice straight edge on it, so I just took the cut-off wheel, and I already trimmed this side off. I haven't cut right through yet, but yeah, so I got this thing all set up here now, so I want to basically, I'll set you up here, and I'm going to try to set you back a little bit so I don't shoot sparks all over the place here, and it should be good. And we'll kind of get you set up on that, and we're going to start trimming it off. So I'll just put you guys on fast forward here, and I don't know if it takes quite a while to cut through this. Just hold on. Alright guys, yeah, you see how I had the guide set up, like this thing wasn't exactly straight, so I wanted it all squared off, so I got it all 90 degrees, but yeah, it's going to take a while to cut through this 3/8 inch plate, and with just a cut off wheel, but I wanted it straight instead of having the jagged edge with the plasma cutter. Yeah, it will be good enough. We're going to do a little grinding, but I want a nice straight edge for fabrication and whatnot. But yeah, so I'll just carry on. I don't think you guys need to sit there and watch me for a couple hours cutting this off, and then before I cut these ends, once I get this end cut off here, or cut through, then I'll take the plasma cutter, cut the legs off, set it on the loader, then I'll go ahead and I'll cut these off because I want it all nice and square, because this table was not cut square to begin with, so it's out a little bit. So it makes it a little difficult for fabrication, but now I just want to get rid of all these here lips on here, because this is all interfering with anything I got to do. And I did put a jack under it yesterday, and it can straighten out the 3/8 inch plate when I weld those heavy angle irons on. Okay, so I'll get back to you when I get some of this other stuff done on it. Well guys, got it, the end here all zipped off now, and I'm going to fire up the tractor, and I'm going to pick this thing up so I can chop the legs off. Well, we'll see how this is going to work. Hydraulics creep a little bit, so it'll hopefully doesn't creep down too fast. Side here first, I guess. go. Well, it's fair, might as well hack up my frame while I'm here, since I'm going to use these for other stuff anyway. Here, this is my fancy new camera bracket that I made. Just a chunk of aluminum here, drilled some 1/4 holes in it and tapped it and whatnot. So it just clamps my phone in there because that's all I'm using for a camera right now. So I got that all hacked up, but these parts I got, so now I'm just going to measure it off and trim these both sides over. Then I guess you see me trim most of it. It'll take another hour or so to trim that off. So okay, I'll leave you guys there, and I'll bring you back once I get it all flipped over and then start. Then I'll be cleaning stuff up and carry on with it. Well, it's been a couple days later. I got the legs all cleaned up here now, and got myself a little chunk of steel. I got a hunk of scrap there. I got to cut some squares off in here so I can weld the legs on, so I got some pads so it's not just sitting on the bare floor. I got a couple pieces cut and kind of clamped onto this plate. I'm not going to weld them just yet because I got to put another crossbar in this way, and the legs will end up being right in there, standing up. So, and then I'll kind of grind along the edge there, and then I'll weld these angle irons in. But I got to tack weld the legs in. But I still got to cut some pieces for this. So I don't know if you guys want to watch. You guys watch me cut some pieces already, the legs and whatnot. But it'd be just kind of rinse and repeat, just measure and cut them out on the bandsaw. So I'll bring you back when something a little bit more exciting happens. And otherwise, I don't want to make a real long video, just making a heavy-duty workbench. But yeah, this thing is 3 inches tall, these things. So it's, of course, it's got some holes in these things already, which is great because now I'll have a little anchor hole to lift the thing up. Yeah, this right now this plate is upside down. This is going to be the bottom side. So, but yeah, hopefully it's going to be good and heavy and I won't be able to tilt it anymore. Hey, I'll bring you back when I got something more exciting to show. Okay, well, I'm back at her. I got some of these angle irons. I don't have this tacked in yet. I'm just going to tuck these in the corners. I just got these angle irons clamped around right now because that plate was warped, which I will be putting some more cross braces in here yet to stabilize it. And but yeah, I'm going to get these tacked in, the legs, and take these angle iron back up so I can weld the legs right on, and then I'll have to grind around the bottom edge there so the angle iron fits in tight against. And then I'll put the angle iron back on, then start welding those in. And then I'll have to cut the other braces for it yet, but I'm guessing this thing's going to be a whole lot heavier than what it was. Hopefully I won't be able to tip it over by leaning on it. But yeah, it's kind of a pain, but it's what I got for material. And yeah, with the way the bench was set up before, this is going to be a whole lot better, be a lot more heavy duty. Hey, so I'll come back when I get these things tacked in. I'm sure you guys seen a bunch of welding before, and then I'll pull the angle irons back off and I'll weld the legs in, and I'll kind of show you a part of that, and then we'll get back at her. Okay, I got legs welded on, and yeah, I'm not the greatest welder, but I guess I know enough to be able to stick things down anyways. They kind of hang on, but yeah, on these here edges right in here, I guess I better not stick my finger in it because it's hot. I got to grind down the lip where the angle iron's going to sit up against on on two sides here. It's got to grind it in a little bit on all four legs, and then I'll clamp all the angle iron back on and start welding those in. Well guys, I got those angle irons clamped back into place, and I kind of stitch weld them on a little bit. I'm just kind of going around. I still got a couple more sides to do there. I just put these U-joint clamps so I can pinch this thing down good and tight, and I'm putting a weld in the centers right now. I already did just corners and whatnot, and I got two more along there I'm going to do for now, and down to flip it over and see how. But for what I can see right now, it's starting to flatten out pretty good, but I need to put a lot of clamping force with these U-joint clamps, or presses, whatever you want to call them, C-clamps. They definitely work good for this kind of thing, so I'm going to set you guys up here, and I'll just clamp in since I already got that one welded in the corner here, or the side rather. So I switch sides, and I can put a little sheet metal on there just to keep from getting little dingleberries on my threads. And I'm welding here, so. One more side, and we can call it quits for tonight. This is definitely working good for pinching it down anyway. Regular C-clamps, they just don't have enough force for what I'm trying to get the work out of the table on here. Well, there we go. I'm just kind of leave it at that for now and call her quits for tonight. And yeah, I got a couple more braces. I have to I'm gonna put 2 more braces in along here. So, and probably a couple cross braces because it is only 3/8" plate. So this is my only way to, with the materials I got on hand, I can make it fairly heavy and it'll withstand torture it's going to need. Like, I'll still put some more stitch welds once I get the cross braces in here, and because as I welded it, I already see it's pulling. I just put a straight edge on there and it's already pulling the warps out of it. You know, just kind of just strategically put the welds down, and it as it cools down it starts pulling it, but I see it straightened out quite a bit already just by doing that and clamping it down with these clamps really good. But anyways, I'm going to shut her down for now, and we'll get back to you. And because I got to cut those other pieces, and I got to make myself some crossbars here because I want to put a shelf, and then I want to put a couple of crossbars right at the base so I can pick it up on my pallet jack. Just makes it easier for moving it around the shop. That way I don't have to have it on wheels. Hey, catch up to you guys in a bit. Well, I got a couple crossbars cut out and sanded down, kind of ground out a bit, and got the 1 bar welded in place here, and then I'm continuing on with my seams, but it's actually leveled right out. Like now the welds are starting to pull it, and the way it was bowed, and I put these support braces on the bottom, and yeah, it's definitely straightening out that plate so it'll be relatively flat. Won't be perfect, but it'll be better than what it was with that big bow in it. But yeah, I'll set you up there, and then I'll just move my clamps over there, and you know, start whoops, they're welding up the other side here. These heat joint seat clamps definitely work good for clamping these things together anyway. Hopefully I got enough gas to finish this project anyway, because I'm just about out of gas, and I just think just with this gas I got left, just keep welding until I run out, and then I'll have to go to town and steam that tank. This doesn't work for me. Cheater lines around here. There we go. Got the other one. I just got to move the clamps to the other, off over to the left side there and continue on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up doing this little bit of welding around the edges here, and then I'll come back when I've got to measure and cut the legs off, or my support braces for my legs, so I can make a shelf on here. And pretty much after that, it'll be just welded back together, and it's already a whole lot heavier than what it was. It's probably twice the weight already. Hey, I'll come back when I get further along. Well, I got all these stitch welds all done up on here, and of course putting those braces in there. I'm within but a 64th of an inch of being flat. Like, I can't even put a little thin piece of 30 thousandths sheet metal through. So that worked out good. There's one little hump I may have to put a little stitch weld, because it's when I weld at the bottom it pulls it, so it works good. And of course trying to figure out how to get my attachment to round pipe and without a whole bunch of hackery there. So I just cut off some little pieces of angle iron, so I got my center line set up. So I got these two cross braces in, and that's going to be for my shelf underneath, and I got them upside down. Everything's upside down right now. So I'm going to weld these things in, and I'll set you up here for a couple minutes welding some of this in. And see how it goes. I still got two more pieces to cut, and then after that I got some plates to fit on the top here for my legs, and then after that it'll be pretty much done. Okay, all set up here. And basically start welding this in, I guess. Tack this all in place here for a bit. Sorry guys, my hand's in my way here. just gonna kind of put that in place now, and I always got to cut a couple more of these here to go underneath here, and I'll have to notch out the little corner a bit for an overlap for my shelf. So I'll bring it back when I get the other two pieces cut up and notched, and then I'll probably have them welded in and show you the end result. Well, we got it all set up here to these other angle irons clamped into place, and I also put a cross brace in the center. So once I flip it over, then I got a shelf in here to put all my stuff up. So yeah, so I'm all set up here now. So I just gonna put on fast forward there and weld these all in place, and maybe just depending on how much gas I got left in my tank, and then I'll do some other touch-ups before I flip it over. And hey, let's get into it. Well guys, I got it finally flipped over. That was a bit of a challenge. This thing's probably 3 times as heavy as what this thing used to be. But yeah, that stitch welding underneath, like you look at this here, you can't see any more daylight to it. It's pretty much flattened right out. There may be just a very slight amount right in the middle. Like I can barely see daylight through it. And front to back, it's pretty much flat, so I can deal with that. You know, if it's a few thousandths out, I can deal with that. The only thing I got left to do is just kind of weld the insides here a little bit and down in the corners, which you guys aren't going to really see much, so I'll just do that off camera. And just gotta straighten out my feet here, and I'll get those welded on, and then it will be done. And then after that, then I'll give it a splash of paint. But I'm sure you guys have watched a whole bunch of painting going on. Nobody needs to watch paint dry or anything, and I don't want to get paint all over the camera either, because it's a new phone, so the other one up and kind of crapped out on me. So hopefully this all works. So yeah, so that's it. And I still got a couple of holes I gotta drill back out for the vices, and like these ones are still through. This one I gotta drill it out to mount the vise. But yeah, all in all, it's definitely gonna be built back better than what it ever used to be. And yeah, this thing is now it sits somewhat level. Like, yeah, the floor is not exactly straight, but when I flipped it over before, it sits, you know, I got to shim up one leg. I'm not going to put adjusters on here because sometimes I may want to take it outside. That's why I'm putting the bigger feet on it. But yeah, other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this here. Like, so rebuild the welding table, fab table combination, and workbench. And yeah, underneath here, I'm going to cut a sheet of plywood to go underneath there, or maybe a chunk of sheet metal. But right now I don't have any sheet metal, so I'll probably just put a piece of plywood. So I can throw my scrap metal underneath there. It's kind of tucked in far enough where sparks won't get in there. But if that's an issue, then I'll get a chunk of sheet metal to go in there to prevent the plywood from catching on fire. But yeah, it's definitely a whole lot better than what it ever used to be. So I'm gonna be pretty happy to be able to use this without the thing flexing all the time and trying to tip over on me. And this way, if I need more weight, I'll load the shelf up with a whole bunch of weight and whatnot, and that'll keep me from trying to tip it over anyway. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully you subscribe and hit that like button, and try to bring you back more. Okay, catch you guys next time.